सभी महानुभावों का हृदय से स्वागत है हमारे भारतम युगसूत्रा चैनल में।
In 1856, the British East India Company was pushing an ambitious infrastructure project across the subcontinent, a railway line connecting Karachi and Lahore. At the time, the firm consensus among European academics was that complex society in South Asia was a relatively late development, arriving thousands of years down the timeline with the migration of the Aryans. The deep past here was assumed to be primitive. But as the track inched forward, two British engineers, the Burton brothers, ran out of rock ballast to stabilize the rails. Searching the surrounding desert, they stumbled onto an anomaly. Buried in the dirt was an endless supply of perfectly baked, uniformly sized clay bricks. The local laborers believed this infinite underground quarry was a literal miracle sent from God. The engineers didn't ask questions. They simply dug the bricks out of the earth and packed them tightly beneath the wooden sleepers to anchor their tracks. Hundreds of miles of the modern industrial era's steel pathways were hammered directly over the crushed ruins of an unidentified ancient world. The true identity of those bricks sat beneath the locomotives until the 1920s. That's when the Archaeological Survey of India, led by Director John Marshall and excavator Daya Ram Sani, began formal digging in the region. They realized the Burton brothers hadn't found an isolated quarry. Those miracle bricks were the structural bones of Harappa, a highly advanced, previously unknown Bronze Age metropolis. Because this vast network of settlements closely tracked the Indus River, it was named the Indus Valley Civilization. Archaeologists also refer to it as the Harappan Civilization, named for that very first site pulled from the dirt. The sophistication found within these mounds pushed the known horizon of South Asian urban civilization back by thousands of years, aligning it with the oldest records of Egypt and Mesopotamia. The emergence of these cities is now referred to as the first urbanization. The foundation for this leap was laid over millennia by early farming communities like Birana, which took root in the region around 7500 BCE. Over centuries, those early agricultural settlements evolved into complex urban centers. The builders utilized standardized weights and measures, laid out grid-based streets, and engineered highly sophisticated covered drainage systems using those precisely fired bricks. The society was anchored by two primary megacities situated nearly 300 miles apart, Harappa in the north, and a sprawling southern hub in Sindh known today as Mohenjo Daro, a name which translates ominously to Mound of the Dead. Supporting these anchors was a web of secondary hubs. This included heavily fortified inland outposts like Kalibangan in modern Rajasthan and the bustling coastal port city of Lothal down in Gujarat. A strict adherence to shared standards in tools, seals, and civic architecture suggests a highly organized, deeply interconnected regional network. This map illustrates the early phase of the civilization, between 3300 and 2600 BCE. You can see distinct, localized cultures like Kotdiji and Amrinal clustered tightly along the banks of the Indus River system. But look at the data from the mature phase, starting around 2600 BCE. Those isolated groups unify into a single, sprawling economic bloc, expanding aggressively toward the coasts and pushing much further east. Setting borders reveals their true scale. The northern boundary at Manda stretches down to Daimabad. Horizontally, it spanned from Balochistan's rugged coast to modern Uttar Pradesh. This footprint swallows ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia combined, covering roughly 2 million square kilometers. During the 3rd and 2nd millennia BCE, absolutely no other civilization on Earth rivaled the geographic scale of the Indus Valley. The sheer physical evidence of this network systematically dismantled the old assumptions about where and when the most advanced early societies flourished. This map tracks the locations we know about today. Archaeologists have identified over 1,400 specific settlements, port towns, and outposts belonging to this culture, with 925 of them lying within the borders of modern-day India. Yet, despite mapping thousands of locations across multiple countries over the last century, field teams have managed to fully excavate just 3% of these confirmed sites. A staggering 97% of the largest ancient civilization on Earth still lies completely untouched beneath the dirt. The Indus Valley Civilization remains humanity's largest active mystery, a sprawling urban ghost waiting in the earth for its story to be fully told.